welcome back to my channel. This is Shonda, the original Stack Sister, and I'm here to do a book review. I just got done reading this book, so I have a lot to say, but what I'm gonna do to avoid any spoilers, since I know a lot of people who are reading this right now, I'm gonna put more of the detailed things I want to talk about towards the end of this video, so that you can know how I feel about it and everything like that without me spoiling it for you. So let's just jump straight in. So the book I'm going to review today is Such a Fun Age by Kylie Reed. It's a good book. I really enjoyed it. So overall, I would give the book like a 4.5. I really when I say I enjoyed it, I know it sounds like I'm being real snarky, but I did. But I would actually give this book 5 stars as a book club book, mainly because a lot of the themes and things that the book covers is really good for discussions. So yeah, a 4.5 if you want to read by yourself, or a 5 if you want to read in a group. The things I love about the book. So overall, the book is extremely well written. The writing is so good. It's so snarky. It's just so good, right? So that it's easily comprehensive for people who are I don't read for fun, or this is the first book that I've picked up in a while. This is a good book for that. What I really love about the book is that each chapter, the narrator changes. And so from chapter to chapter, you get a different take on, a different perspective, different understanding. And that just builds the layer of context that you have as the reader, because then you have so much more content, right? There's so much more things to consider when you're reading, because you have the perspective from all these different people. So yeah, overall, I think the writing of this book was amazing, in the way that it's not literary, and I don't think it's meant to be. And because of that, it's easy to read. Some of the main themes that this book covers, it covers class, it covers, the white savior complex, it covers racism and microaggressions. And so it covers these really big concepts in a really easy way. The way that it goes at these conversations and these themes is in a more relatable way, right? A lot of the time I was reading, I was like, ooh, somebody has said that to me, or that has happened to me. I've seen that happen, because you're able to easily put yourself or someone else into the book. One thing I will say is that Reed creates really relatable characters. And so I'll talk a little bit about that later. But her character buildup and development is really spot on. Yeah. So the book starts at a really intense point. One of the main characters, Emra, is in Market Depot. She's a babysitter, and she's in the market early in the morning because of some other things that's happening with the people she worked for. So they asked her, hey, come pick up our kid. Can you take her somewhere, keep her occupied while we handle this? So she did that, and they went to the market. Toddlers are easily entertained, right? Walking through the market and things like that. And some white lady was in there not minding her business, and basically called the security on her because she thought that she had kidnapped this white kid. It starts at this very intense interaction between Emra and white lady who don't know how to mind her business, and the security guard, who in fact is not the police, just security. That as a starting point, and as the foundation for the story, or how all these characters in some way will intertwine, was really, really, really powerful and compelling. So what I will say is that one of the more powerful parts of Emra's journey was the conversation of finding who you are, finding your passion. What do you want to do? So The higher education student affairs professional in me wanted to just grab her by the shoulders and say, sis, your thing is childcare, right? Like, you like to work with kids. Do that. That is something you can do full time. The conversation of who am I? Who do I want to be? What do I want to do in the world? What are the ways that I can do what I want to do? And my professional self was like, man, you just need somebody to just ask you, what do you like to do? And show you that there is a path where you could do exactly what you want to do and be successful. And using success not as a benchmark for how much money you make. The conversation in the book is her friends make money, they can live in these nice apartments, they can do this, but like they're going to Mexico. Yes, while all of that is important and a part of what the success is, how do we make sure that you, Emira, are happy with your everyday life, with showing up? As you move forward through that, you meet her supervisor, who's Alex, who I cannot say that I liked her, right? Like, I started off at the beginning trying to give her the benefit of the doubt. I tried, and I couldn't, right? Because she was so problematic, so self-serving, so she was just so bad. She has no, like, right, like everything is centered, or everything that she does is centered around her. And I think that it comes out time and time again throughout the story. Yeah. I couldn't with Alex, right? Like, there were many times that I was reading and was like, this is wrong. Right? Like, this is so wrong. And there's no way that I'm going to be able to, right, like, be like, but it's okay. No, it's wrong. One of the main things that came up in this book was the conversation of boundaries. Mainly because Alex didn't have any, to be honest. But also, I would even say personal boundaries, because I would argue that Emira didn't have really good personal boundaries, right? Like, she didn't exert her boundaries or her expectations as much as I wanted her to as I was reading. And so this conversation of like, what does healthy boundaries look like in a relationship of like supervisor, supervisee, co-workers, friends, right? Like people you're dating. And so what does that boundary look like that is helpful or healthy? My favorite character of all time in this book was Briar, the baby. Well, toddler. I will give her that. Briar's a big girl. I just think that her character was clever. She was witty. She was extremely, like, she was forthright in what she wanted and what she wanted to say. And I just think that she was written as a really, really adorable kid. And that's all I'm gonna say. Team Briar. So the conversation of race. So a big thing that I would like to say, and I'm gonna say it on this here camera on record, is that when it came to Alex and when it came to Kelly, another person in this here book, I think they were so trying to not be racist that they were in turn very racist. In Alex's case, she wanted to be accepted, she wanted to be cool, she wanted to be hip, she wanted to be loved by Emira so bad, which made her terrible, right? Like, because she did some things that were really shitty and very racist. And these characters were still racist because of a lot of their assumptions, what they didn't want to happen, or what they assumed could happen, or the assumptions they made about Emira, her life, where she came from, were all rooted in racism. I think that the writing allowed for that to come up in the conversation really well, because, right, like you see both spectrums of Alex just being like, you know, all in everybody's business and like not wanting to be that white woman when she became that white woman. And then you have Kelly, who just, you know, he want to be down. He want all his friends are black. All the people he dated is black, right? Like, and yet you're still racist and still making assumptions about black people and what they go through. So I don't know. Just I don't know. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna bring this up because this made me mad. Tamra in the story shows some internalized racism and some internalized shit, because when she was pulling on my good sis Emra's hair, talking about what you got up, what you got up under here, ma'am, it ain't none of your business. It is none of your business. It's funny because I've been talking to a lot of people about this book and everything like that, and everybody brings up Emra, everybody talks about Alex, everybody talks about Kelly, but Tamra, I think she was the character that got under my skin. The assumptions and the way that she talks about and talks to Emra is all rooted in some shit, right? Like, even at the end when she's like, oh, you're doing Emra a favor and things like that, right? Like, she's making assumptions based on class. As bad as Alex was, she also had that black lady, Tamra, with her, telling her that everything she was doing was right, which was problematic. And so, all in all, before I rant and this turned into a 30-minute video, if you want to talk about characters, if you want to talk about the book or anything like that, please put it in the comments, or, you know, slide over to my Instagram, because, you know, this book took me through some things, and I'm willing to talk about it. So, have a good day, subscribe and vibe, and, you know, see you at the next one.